Today we have the honor of welcoming Mantas Bakasius, the Consul General of the Republic of Lithuania in Chicago. Mr. Bakasius has a distinguished foreign service career spanning nearly 2 decades. He began his work in the Public Relations Department of the Ministry of the National Defense. He went on to complete 2 special missions in Afghanistan. And before returning to Lithuania to serve as Chief of Staff for the Speaker of the Parliament and then as Deputy Foreign Minister. He became the Consul General of the Republic of Lithuania in Chicago in 2017. He covers 25 states in the Midwest. So would you please join me in welcoming Mantas Bakasius to the Illinois Senate.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable President Calderton, thank you for inviting me. Thank you for this great opportunity to speak in front of you. It is a great honor for me to be here today. 2018 is a very special year to Lithuania and Lithuanians in the United States of America and all around the world. Just a few months ago, on February 16th, we commemorated 100-year anniversary of the restoration of a statehood of Lithuania. This date marks the most important day in the history of Lithuania. Of course, our country's history has begun more than 1,000 years ago, but on February 16, 1918, a new chapter was opened in the history of my country, of my homeland. But it was not too long since Lithuania was occupied by the Soviet Union, then Nazi Germany, and then Soviets again. As a nation, we paid an extremely high price. The extensive deportations to Siberia, the Holocaust, and fighting Red Army cost us too many of our best men and women. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lithuanian community in the United States, and especially in the state of Illinois, has played an extraordinary role in preserving the Lithuanian national identity during the long 50 years of Soviet occupation. Lithuanians from the state of Illinois has played a major role in almost every stage of Lithuanians' modern history and still continues to do so. When the Soviet system began to crumble in the late 1980s, Lithuanians from Illinois enthusiastically supported Lithuanians' independence. They contributed money and equipment and lobbied vigorously in Springfield and in Washington, D.C. Ladies and gentlemen, the Soviets occupied my country, but they could never break the spirit of Lithuanians. Fighting for freedom is in our blood. It's a part of our DNA, the same as it is for Americans. We proved it 28 years ago when March 11th, 1990, Lithuania became an independent country again and the Soviet evil empire collapsed. This marks another chapter of our history. The centennial to us is a success story of a new Lithuania. Today, we can proudly call ourselves a modern society that offers the world a diversified economy, a well-educated workforce, the region's best developed road network, and we are members of United Nations, NATO, and European Union. Ladies and gentlemen, it is also symbolic for me to speak here today, as Illinois is the home of the largest Lithuanian community in the United States. Chicago is both the biggest city of Illinois and the largest city of Lithuanian Americans. Perhaps some of you know that in Springfield, only several minutes away from here, on the corner of the 7th and Enterprise Streets, once stood Catholic St. Vincent de Paul's Church. Lithuanians arrived to Illinois at the end of 19th and the very beginning of the 20th century, and they built this church. This church was once called the most important melting pot in the city. Today, in that place, we can find a historical marker dedicated to Lithuanians of Illinois. This is a beautiful example illustrating the Lithuanian story in the United States and repeated itself many towns, cities across the country and the state. For many years, Lithuanians have been your friends, your neighbors. They are appreciating your continuous support for the local Lithuanian American communities, but also for the state of Lithuania. Ladies and gentlemen, it would be right to say that today the partnership between my country and the United States is as strong and successful as never before. Our countries share continued commitment on global values, democracy, human rights, security, and pledge to deepen bilateral political, economical, and socio-cultural cooperation. Our countries have long-standing bilateral and regional security relationships. The US commits to continue to deploy of armed forces to Lithuania. The US and Lithuania cooperate on common fight against transnational terrorism, and we are actively engaged in international efforts to ensure stability. We have Lithuanian soldiers shoulder to shoulder deployed with the American troops in Afghanistan, Iraq, Mali, Central African Republic, and other hotspots around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, Lithuania and the US enjoy bonds of intense friendship cooperation not only in the security area, but in business and economy as well. That is the result of many efforts of Lithuanian and American governments and our business communities. So it is safe to say that today Lithuanian-American economic ties are strong, vibrant, and rapidly developing. And that is also a well-illustrated trend. Our bilateral trade value is growing on the yearly basis. Over the course of the last 5 years, Lithuanian export to US has increased more than 3 times. In fact, the US is a top 10 trade partner for Lithuania, a testimony of how close Lithuanian-American businesses are, no matter geographical proximity between two countries. Ladies and gentlemen, Lithuanian business community in Illinois is hardworking, skillful, and has left its footprint in state's economical development. From Lithuanian-owned companies in IT, financial and legal services, transportation and logistics sectors, to the professionals working in Illinois-based top global firms. We should bear in mind that bilateral economic cooperation is a two-way street. It's not only about Lithuanians doing business in the US. American businesses' presence in our country has always been much appreciated and welcomed. That's why Lithuania is committed to providing the best conditions possible to get your businesses up and running. Today, Lithuania is ranked as number 16th globally for ease for doing business, and also number 19th out of 180 countries for economic freedom. We also value American companies as experienced and reliable partners who share the same business culture and contribute to the smooth development of economy. Well-known American businesses, such as Illinois-based medical devices company Hollister, they are in Lithuania, Western Union, NASDAQ, Thermo Fisher Scientific, Mars, Philip Morris, Kinsey, and I can continue naming those companies. Ladies and gentlemen, I strongly believe that US and Lithuania share a desire to continue to expand ties between our communities and the states. Here in Illinois, we can proudly celebrate joint contributions of Lithuanian and Americans in the field of politics, economics, and culture. I have no doubt that the long history of Lithuanians in Illinois will help to nurture the friendship amongst our communities and find the new ways to cooperate. Thank you.